My light-skinned Caucasian wife tried to stage a break-in and frame my East Asian best friend, but she forgot I'm an African-American male architect in my 40s.
I've always believed buildings tell the truth. Cracks, pressure lines, structural shifts, those tiny warnings appear long before a collapse. I'm an architect. Spotting weaknesses is my job. What I didn't realize was that the biggest structural failure of my life wasn't going to happen in a blueprint, but in my own home, with the woman I'd shared 12 years of marriage with. My name is Elliot Brooks, and this is the story of how my wife tried to destroy two men in her life at once, and how she ended up being the only one buried in the rubble. It was almost midnight, rain hammering our Millbrook, Maine colonial home like someone emptying a bucket onto the roof. I was half asleep when the familiar hum of Samantha's BMW hit the driveway. But instead of her car, my smart doorbell showed her stumbling out of a sleek silver Porsche. She wasn't wearing her work clothes. She was wearing tight gym leggings and a tank top with not a single crease. No sweat, no wear. No sign she'd been working out or meeting clients like she'd claimed. She smelled like cologne, expensive, musky, definitely not mine. "Dinner run long?" I murmured when she slid into bed. "Just negotiations with the Morrison account," she replied smoothly, not a single crack in her voice. When a liar works in law, you learn not to expect stutters when they cheat. The next morning, she blasted through the front door, breathless and panicked, clutching her purse like it contained a beating heart. "Eli, thank God you're here. Someone broke in. The living room was a disaster zone, drawers dumped, cushions tossed, jewelry box overturned. But as an architect, I noticed patterns. I see staging. And this looked staged, forced, performed. Still, I asked, 'Did you call the police?' Her hand shot out, grabbing my wrist. Wait, maybe we shouldn't involve them yet. Maybe we should think this through." That's when the first real crack appeared. Not in her story. In her fear of involving the one group she couldn't manipulate, I called anyway. Detective Maria Mendes Sharp, calm, the kind of woman you don't bother lying to, was there within 20 minutes. Samantha wasted no time pointing her finger at Paul Hart. Paul, my best friend since childhood. The man who built tree forts with me, survived breakups with me, protected me like a brother. The man who absolutely hated Samantha, and she hated him right back. "He was lurking around the house?" she insisted, eyes full of convincing tears. "He's been unstable since his divorce." Mendes turned to me. "You have security cameras?" I pulled up the footage. At 11:47 p.m., Samantha arrived home, alone, on the phone for 10 minutes. No sign of Paul, her lips pursed. "Strange, I could have sworn." "Let's check inside," the detective said. And right there, at 6:24 a.m., the truth revealed itself. For 15 agonizing minutes, my wife tore apart our living room with surgical precision, dumping drawers, hiding her own jewelry in her purse, turning the room into a crime scene she intended to frame Paul for. The silence after that footage played could have cracked glass. "Mrs. Brooks," Mendes said softly, "put your hands behind your back." By noon, the headline read, "Prominent attorney arrested for filing false police report. Her firm suspended her." Her reputation evaporated in one day. By evening, she came home hollow-eyed, mascara-streaked, face pale. I was waiting with divorce papers spread neatly across the counter. "This isn't fair," she whispered when she saw them. "What you did wasn't fair," I replied. "But this? This is necessary." She tried tears again. They didn't work this time. Then I added, "And Sam?" "I know about Logan Pierce." Her face drained so fast it was like watching a building implode. A silver Porsche. Expensive cologne. Late night, client dinners, it all clicked. I left her standing in the wreckage of her own lies. Later that night, I met Paul at the Rusty Anchor. He clapped me on the back with a tired smile. "You finally saw what she's always been," he said. "That's the problem," I replied. "I don't know who I've been living with." That week, Paul and I worked like investigators, him with his PI contacts, me with my caution sharpened into clarity. Logan Pierce wasn't just an affair, he was a parasite. A developer drowning in debt, juggling lawsuits, notorious for cheating on every wife he'd ever had. And Samantha? She wasn't his lover. She was his next scapegoat. He promised her partnership, money, luxury, everything she thought she deserved. But Paul found the truth. Logan was planning to frame her next, claiming she seduced him and stole documents. She thought she was manipulating him. He was 3 moves ahead.